Proctor Public Schools, we're more than just a district. We're a journey. Every day our teachers, staff, and students work together, building knowledge, confidence, and character mile by mile. From our early learners to our graduates ready for the world ahead, we're fueling curiosity, connecting ideas, and driving innovation, all while keeping our eyes on the horizon. Because here in Proctor, we don't just ride the rails, we are the rails, educating, engaging, and inspiring the next generation to go full steam ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Events Center here in Proctor, Minnesota for the MN Hockey TV broadcast of the Section 7A quarterfinals featuring the number 5 seed International Falls Broncos coming in at 21-1-2 and the number 4 seed Proctor Rails at 12-12-1. The game got moved up here to 4 o'clock due to the impending snowmageddon, I guess that they're calling it. But these two teams coming in kind of in a different route to getting here. The International Falls Broncos having won.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome.
Having won 13 straight games coming into the playoffs, and the Proctor Rails coming into this game having lost 6 of their last 8. So, however, the Rails and Broncos skated to a 1-1 tie way back on January 3rd up in International Falls. So we'll see what happens here today in the St. Luke Sports and Events Center. In a moment, we're going to turn it down to Mark Fleischer, who's going to do our starting lineups and our national anthem. And after that, Dylan Nemi will have the play-by-play.
Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to the Aspirus St. Luke Sports and Events Center for today's Minnesota State High School League Section 7A quarterfinal game that pits the Broncos from International Falls against the Rails from Proctor. Let's meet the starters for this afternoon's contest, and we'll start with the Broncos from International Falls. Starting in goal, wearing number 33, senior Caleb Joslin. On defense, junior number 16, Carter Thompson. Also on defense, junior number 20, Gray Shakowski. One of the forwards is a senior wearing number 15, Anthony Yurksa. Also at forward, junior number 17, Bauer Linval. And the final forward is a senior wearing number 18, William Yurksa. The assistant coaches are Jared Baldwin, Tucker Hell, and Adam Matthews. The head coach of the Broncos is Chad Baldwin. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Proctor Rails. Starting in goal, sophomore number 1, Ashton Lee. On defense, senior number 21, Gavin Davidson. Also on defense, junior number 27, Wes Paulson. One of the wings is a freshman wearing number 3, Jax Hardy. The other wing is a senior wearing number 13, Wynn Giswold. And starting at center is senior number 7, Brecken Ross. The assistant coaches are Corey Ward, Nate Regas, Howie Sands, and Adam Shikes. The Rails head coach in his 6th season is Jeff Laspy. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America and as a show of respect to the men and women who have given their lives in preserving freedom in this country and throughout the world, we ask that you now rise if you are able, and gentlemen, please remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem performed this afternoon by the Proctor High School Pep Band. been assigned by Section 7 and the Minnesota State High School League. Your referees are Kevin Morrison and Nick Beyondich, and the assistant linesman today is Caleb.
You can wait till they have sound.
Okay. They didn't get anything.
Unless you want to
you.
start. No, I know. Right. Evidently not. Darn it. But if you want to start like you normally would, and they'll just pipe in when they're ready.
I think I'll save my breath until it's worth it.
There's no audio.
That's what Gundy just told me.
Physical. Oh, wow. Don't know. Hello and welcome to St. Luke's Arena in Proctor, Minnesota. Playoff hockey is in the air. I am joined by Tim Groweeder, and we are here to call for you the 5 and the 4 seed matchup between the International Falls Broncos and the Proctor Rails. Puck has dropped, and we are underway in the International Falls territory. In between the pipes for the visiting Broncos, number 33, Caleb Joslin. He has an 11-1-1 record on the year, a 1.57 goals against average, a .924 save percentage, complemented by 3 shutouts. As for the Rails, number 1, Ashton Lee. Lee is 3-2, has a 1.22 goals against average, a .949 save percentage, also matching Joslin with 3 shutouts. Rails have it on their own blue line, has one arm in a dream across neutral zone, turned over to the Broncos. Looking to re-enter into the Broncos corner. D-to-D exchange behind their own goal line, looking for options down ice. A little bit indirect as the rest of his squad will get a line change off of the glass. White shirts re-enter. More physicality. It has been plenty of that early. Played by Joslin, leaving it for his defender. Weaving through his own zone, leaves it up. Trying to force his way through. Broncos enter, trying to throw it off of the backhand, intercepted. From along the boards, just a little left. The attempt to get it out is successful for now. Broken stick just below the International Falls blue line. They're going to ring it back around to be played by Lee. Tie up behind the net. Looks to change directions, forgets to take the puck with him. Proctor along their own boards. Hits him just along center ice. Trying to fight through a sea of purple. Looking to feed his man out front. Going to chase it down is Brecken Ross, point leader for the Rails. Ross had the lone goal for Proctor in their matchup against I-Falls earlier in the season that ended in a 1-1 tie. Off of the glass, and we are going to have our first whistle. Tim, what have you seen so far?
Well, like you mentioned earlier, the physicality. International Falls came out right away and played the body. That's typically not the Rails style, but they've kind of answered back with a couple big hits themselves. So expect to see physical action here all night.
When you have a threat like Anthony Yerxa, the leading point getter in the state of hockey, you got to do everything you can to try to get him off his game mentally or physically, and they have for sure been putting some elbows to him. As a Proctor rail goes down, no striped arm in the air. We're going to continue to play along the rail bench. Brecken Ross, top of the circle, doesn't get all the shot. Trying to regather. He has some company come and help from the corner. Pass to the defense. Shot saved by Jocelyn, and it goes back behind the net. Rails continuing. Ross looking to dig it out of the skates. Brings it up the boards, held at the blue line. Looking for a lane. Shot. Scores! Rails! 1-0.
Yeah, good offensive zone pressure there by the Rails, cycling it around the boards. Pass from Paulson over to Swart, and an innocent looking shot, but Jax Hardy right in front tips it home in between the 5-hole of Jocelyn, and the Rails jump out ahead.
That's goal number 11 on the season for number 3, his 38th total point. Number 2 in points on the Rails. He is actually now tied for first with Brecken Ross. What a way to start this game. No lack of fireworks, I am sure, are ahead of us. Broncos already looking to get even. Tied up in the corner. Proctor has outscored their opponents in the first period this season, 33-23. Out front, Broncos looking to even the score. It goes just behind. As for the Broncos, they have outscored their opponents 62-16. A team that has not lacked any goal scoring, thanks to the Yerxa brothers. Gives it a free flight into the far left corner.
I'm with you.
Behind the net, D-to-D exchange. Along the boards, up to the blue line, along his own bench, and he almost takes a dunk in there. Continuing to hold. He's surrounded by purple and gold. Able to get it with one arm. Weaving through neutral. He'll take a stop while his team gets a change. A little bit tied up with the stick. Played by Jocelyn. Jocelyn's goals against average of 1.57 happens to be 5th in the state. His save percentage of .924 is 10th.
We're going to have our first penalty as Parker Swartz going to go off on the big hit at the blue line. And they're going to call that a high stick because his stick got up a little bit.
That will give us our first power play of the afternoon. It belongs to the Broncos. They have 33 power play goals all year, resulting in a percentage of 41.2. Leading them is number 15, Anthony Yerxa, who has 8 power play goals. Right behind him is his brother, William Yerxa, with 7. What do the Rails got to do to avoid an odd man opportunity goal here?
Well, the Rails have been doing a nice job all year getting sticks in the lanes and passing lanes. Pretty aggressive penalty kill, and it's kind of their trademark all year on the penalty kill is just doing a nice job of cutting off those passing lanes.
They have a penalty kill percentage of 86.8. They have only allowed 10 goals when down a man. But Yerxa brings it in for the Broncos. Shot! Off of the post! It's still loose. Lee retreats back to the crease. And Anthony Yerxa almost gets us even at 1. The Rails are going to take a deep breath and get some fresh legs. Another trip up. No striped arm. We're going to continue on the 5-on-4. 1:15 left on the penalty. Broncos have the whole sheet of ice to go. Leaves it for himself to get. Yerxa from the corner. We're going to have a stop of play.
Yeah, a loud, boisterous crowd here by the Falls. They got quite a few fans here. A couple fan buses came down, and they're enjoying this physical action and definitely making some noise for their team.
They must have missed the weather alert because
right.
they were not afraid to travel heavy. A very impressive year for the Falls. They went 22-1-2, their first 20-plus win season since 2008. It's been a long time since they've been this excited. Playing for a trip to go to Amsoil Arena this weekend. They have not been to the Amsoil Arena for semifinals since the 2017-18 year. Puck into Proctor territory. Off of the glass around the zone, held at the blue line. Shot, pad save by Ashton Lee. Trying to make a move in the corner, loses possession. Throws it across the map. Rails are able to get another clear with a little over 30 seconds on the penalty. Shots on goal are a very easy 2-1 so far. Proctor on top. Weaving through the zone is Baldwin. Tries to force it out front, will not go, and somebody's getting a souvenir.
Again, the Rails doing a nice job not letting the Falls set up. They haven't had really any good scoring chances on this power play, and looks like 17 seconds left on this advantage, and Rails looking to kill this off, get some momentum.
For a team that has scored a total of 62 goals in the first period this season, they have not looked like it, and I think a lot of that is due to Proctor being aggressive, physical, and I'd say very well disciplined so far beside the Swart penalty. Off the backhand, he'll shovel it up and away onto the tape of almost Caleb Joslin. It'll be scooped up before him. We'll have an icing and a release of Parker Swart. Rails able to kill off the penalty early. And we await a face-off in International Falls. Eli Mader takes the draw for Proctor. Tied up, it's loose along the hash. Backhand pass is complete over the red, the blue, and a little further. Behind Ashton Lee, Yerxa takes a tumble into the boards. Ice is slippery in St. Luke's Arena. Puck is lifted into neutral and along the I-Falls bench. Backhand pass is picked off. Unable to contain it, tries to throw it into the middle of the zone. Retrieving it is Linval. Tries to get around the forecheckers, past the blue line, but it will not stay there long. Ashton Lee's going to redirect it. Another burnout behind the net, this time by a Rail. Pass out front. The poke home, unsuccessful. Back to Lee, he'll put tape to it. Enough to get it into neutral zone. Back on to International Falls tape and now loose. Brecken Ross putting his back to the defender. Dancing his way around Bronco territory. This almost hit us. Tim, you almost had your catcher's mitt out.
I did. I was ready for it.
Let me find that. I'll sell it to a little kid. ODR pucks are hard to find these days.
There's more to protect the equipment than myself.
You played goalie back in the day?
No, defense. I blocked a lot of shots, though.
Yeah, me too. One back to the blue line for Proctor. Top of the circle, fires into the gut of Joslin. Nice little setup by the Rails to catch Joslin off guard. One of the top goaltenders in the state. Those type of plays could benefit Proctor going forward.
Yeah, that was Jax Hardy and the quick shot from the pass. He scored that first goal for the Rails.
Looking for number 2, and it hits off of the crossbar. Joslin looking as confused as we were. That looked like it was very clearly going behind the net, but then gravity had another option. Lucky for Joslin and the Broncos, we stay at 1-0.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have counted anyways. It was a high stick, that the tip in front, so the referee had the symbol up for high stick, and if it would have gone in, it most likely would have been waved off.
I like goals. I'm optimistic to think that the ref would have ignored it for a cool goal. Wins it back to the blue. Into the shins of a Bronco. Trying to chip it forward. Rails are going to recover, led by Brecken Ross, trying to feed it to Hardy, a little bit behind. He'll need some physicality along the boards, pinning it up, covered in purple and gold. Wrestling match near the corner. Chips it past, and here come the Broncos. Good defense by the Rails. They'll hold it off for now. Hardy's going to give it a poke off of the Proctor bench. Hits off of Oliver, and he'll try to clear this until International Falls will hold. Yerxa behind the net, patiently waiting for the puck to get loose. He'll have to go to the opposite end of the zone for that. Throwing it just near center ice, lost in the skates. The Yerxa brothers looking to enter. William is going to hold it a little too long at the blue line, and now Joslin's going to play it behind his own pipes. Along the boards, trying to get it off of the glass, kicking it. We're playing soccer in St. Luke's. Looking to get a pass from their own blue line. It goes a little far. Purple shirts the other way. Going to the outside into the glove of Ashton Lee, and we will have a frozen puck.
Yeah, both teams looking for that hit, and not a lot of room out there right now to move the puck. As soon as someone gets it on the tape, they're looking to get rid of it because they know someone's coming.
That's all a part of high school hockey that you got to learn, is that you got to be patient and you got to be savvy. These two teams, once they settle in, I'm sure we will have a lot more tic-tac-toes and a lot less, why is this on my tape? Goes to leave it back for himself to find. Gets pinned by white and green. Moves it up along the boards just to get the return on it. Along the goal line, and Proctor will make their way the other direction. Making a move, he'll chase it into the corner. Fighting off a hit, but falls nonetheless. Nothing a stick lift can't hurt. Proctor's going to keep it at the blue, pushing it back behind the Broncos net. They go on the forecheck. A little over 6 minutes remaining in our first period of play. Shots on goal are 3-3. Turns it over along his own goal line. Pile up in the corner. Moves to pass along. Entering enemy territory is Giswald. Ross moves it off of the backhand. Another collision in the corner. Ross trying to find some open ice. Shot from the blue line, hits a skate. Goes just through the legs and past the other blue line. More falling. Shot goes directly into the glove of Ashton Lee, and he's going to hold this for a whistle.
Yeah, the Rails bench looking for a call there as the puck went in behind the net. It looked like Jax Hardy was taken down, but no call, and nothing hurt, I guess, if you're the Broncos.
Besides our one Parker Swart penalty, it does seem like they've been letting him play, which is good. This is section hockey. These games matter. The winner of this gets the victor of Hibbing and Ely, who are also playing this evening. That game will be played at AMSOIL Arena this Saturday. Hardy around the net, trying to feed it out front. Too much purple and gold in the way. Yerxa is on a race for the puck. His team's going to be able to hold it in, and his brother William throws it onto the pad of Ashton Lee. Against Section 7A opponents this season, Proctor is 5-2-1. I Falls is 8-1-1. Both have done well with in-section play. The tie for both teams is against each other from January 3rd. Broncos are able to dig it loose along the boards. The Yerxa brothers exchange, and they'll go get fresh legs on the ice for the Broncos.
Both teams really only playing two lines here so far in this first period. So seeing a lot of both top lines so far.
And if you're the Broncos, why wouldn't you? That line has been feeding you points all season. They have 8 players that average at least 1 point per game. They have 3 that average 2 points per game. The Yerxa brothers alone, who have been on the ice almost the whole game, combined for 176.
That's just crazy.
It's video game numbers.
It is.
Played by Joslin. He'll push it back for Lehman. Lehman gets contested, and we're going to have a call, it seems.
Interference, I believe, because he kicked the stick away that was dropped.
This is going to be Proctor's first power play of the game. My eyes don't deceive me. That was Aiden Lehman, number 11 of the Broncos. Interference. He'll go sit for 120 seconds. The Rails on the power play this season have 16 total power play goals, led by Rafe Giswald. He has 6 of the 16. They have a power play percentage of 17.6. Who are you looking for on the odd man chance here?
Well, I look for Hardy and also Ross. Ross plays defense on this power play, but he likes to take the puck down low. Plays kind of this wing side, making things happen. And again, Rails are just going to look to get things in the net and cause some tips out front.
And he scores! You should call your shot more often. Proctor doubles their lead on the power play.
Wayne Giswald.
That's number 7. Power play goal number 7 on the year for Rafe Giswald. That was very much so generated by who you were just talking about, Brecken Ross. The home team is up double. Only 16 seconds in to the Lehman penalty, proven to be costly. 3:46 remaining in our first period. Shots on goal are 4-4. Our score is 2-0. Proctor. Behind the Proctor net, up and out of their zone. Onto the tape of Mater. Mater going to the outside, has it on his backhand, loses control of it. Yerxa moves it up along the boards. Gets his pocket picked. Mater tries to retrack it. He'll have some help from a teammate. Put into the close left corner. Cross-ice pass batted out of the air. Baseball season is coming up. Taking that one near center ice. Contested in the corner, trying to dig it loose. Mater showing off the hustle on this shift, I've noticed. Continuing to kick it through. Behind his own net, he's going to go tape to tape. They'll be over the blue line. William Yerxa, shot from way up high, letting it rain from above. Another go at it. Rebound. Chased into the corner in front of the crease. White and green are going to bring it the other way. On the outside, trying to curve in. Puts it on the pad of Joslin. Bodies collide behind the net. Luckily, everybody is up and okay. Bank pass off of the Bronco bench. D-to-D pass in their own zone. Top of the circle. Puts it through a skate or two. Puts it around the man and goes to chase it as Yuso, and we're going to have a whistle.
Pretty entertaining first period so far. A lot of action end to end. Even though the shots are only 5-6, there's been decent chances both sides, and seeing some skill out there.
Great game as expected. I don't know about you, but this was one of my more favorite first round matchups in not just Section 7A, but all of sections. Today has started the trek to Grand Casino Arena.
Still the X to me.
I was going to say it. I'm trying to be correct, Tim. I'm trying to be correct. But trek to the X, yeah, that's correct. Loses it in his skates. Tries to fire it through a defender. It goes into the corner. The other Section 7A games going on today, as we mentioned, Hibbing and Ely. Winner of this gets the winner of that. Greenway and Cloquet also going on, as well as Hermantown and North Shore, just not too far from here. Feeds it out front, nobody in front of the crease to put it home. Rails re-enter the zone, shot from the corner, it goes just by Joslin. Behind the net, has it on his backhand, goes to leave it along the International Falls student section. Back over the blue line, puts it on the pad of Lee. He'll push it into the corner. Less than a minute remaining in our first period. Broncos at the blue line, D to D, shot through the traffic into the gut of Ashton Lee.
That's the first time I've been able to, I've seen International Falls get some traffic out in front of Lee there to try to take away his vision, and he did a good job tracking that one all the way to the chest.
And you would know this better than me. Lee has not had a whole lot of starts this season compared to his fellow Rail, William Pockernich.
Yeah, both goaltenders pretty solid, and Lee just kind of at the end of the season here, just kind of when you kind of play that hotter goalie at the time, and you know, Coach Lasby had a tough decision to make, but Lee gets a start, and so far playing well.
That is the name of the game when it comes to playoffs, is ride the hot hand, because as a team you want to be the hot hand. Hockey matters most in February and March here in Minnesota. Moves it up along the boards. Out of his reach, it goes all the way to Jocelyn. He'll settle it, leaving it. Lehman has the whole sheet of ice. Gives it to William Yerxa. He goes over the red, the blue, further, and puts it into the wrong type of netting that he was looking for. We'll have a stop of play at 19.3. Shots on goal 9-5. International Falls has the lead in that category.
But again, really only one or two good chances on those 9 shots so far. The Rails have done a nice job keeping those shots coming from outside. You saw Yerxa get one off the crossbar early, but other than that, there really hasn't been a whole lot.
The Rails have been a lot more calculated with their shots, a lot more quality. Broncos maybe starting to feel that 2-0 deficit and just throwing anything on net. Up to the blue line, fires through a couple different bodies, but that's going to kill out the first. After the first set of 17 minutes, the home team Proctor Rails lead International Falls 2-0, thanks to goals from Hardy and Giswald. Giswald getting the power play goal. Shots on goal, as we just mentioned, 9-5. What'd you take away from the first period of play, Tim?
Well, if you're the Rails, you're definitely feeling good about that first period. Get a good power play goal there to get that second tally, get the power play up and running. And also getting a good penalty kill on International Falls' first power play. So the Rails have some momentum here going into that second period. The Falls, it's a long trip. You'd like to jump ahead to get some excitement going. They got the student section here kind of trying to get them going, but we'll see if they come out flying here the second period with that long change.
With that drive home and the weather tonight, I would not want to imagine how long of a bus ride that would be if they left empty-handed tonight. And it's got to be a confidence booster, as you mentioned, for Proctor, not only killing off a penalty against one of the best power plays in the state, but also getting a power play goal and going up double.
Well, we got some sponsors to thank, so we're going to take a break and we'll come back for second period action after these messages.
Family owned and operated, Troy Service Center is a full-service shop with experienced ASC certified technicians. We understand that getting your car fixed or buying new tires can be overwhelming. At Troy's, we handle every repair with accuracy and integrity and back it up with a 2-year, 24K nationwide warranty. From oil changes and tires to major repairs, Troy's Service Center is here for all your automotive needs. Honest advice to help maintain the life of your vehicle. Troy's Service Center, Proctor.
Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop. Proctor Pizza offers baked pizza, unbaked pizza, subs, tacos, wraps, salads, tater tots, nachos, burritos, and more. Proctor's local family business for over 35 years. Proctor Pizza offers brand new monthly specials, such as the taco pizza, bacon cheeseburger pizza, Hawaiian pizza, and more. Proctor Pizza.
We believe in helping each other to be better, to live fuller, and hear more. Our knowledgeable team delivers the best experience in hearing healthcare. And through our individualized approach that combines cutting-edge practices with the latest technologies, we keep you connected. Audiology Concepts. You'll love what you hear.
Namaji Golf Course and Greensview Grill is your home for winter golf. We offer 2 state-of-the-art simulators to practice your swing, perfect your technique, and enjoy hours of fun on a huge selection of courses for any level of golfer. With cutting-edge technology that feels like the real thing, our simulators are the ultimate golfing experience. Check out our full menu and huge drink selection in the Greensview Grill. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, our outstanding staff has something for every diner. Come out and visit us today or book your simulator time at namajigolf.com.
I chose Heritage Window and Door because of their reputation and because of their renewal Anderson windows that they have. And their workmanship was fantastic.
I'm so impressed.
Your home is your largest investment. Don't waste your money on cheaper windows. These are the best. It's my money, and I'm going to spend it where it's going to do me the best good, and it happened to be Heritage Window and Door.
They really know how to treat a customer.
This has been an excellent experience.
Protect your investments this winter with an enclosed trailer from Wittes Trailer Sales, located in Esco. We also sell cargo trailers, utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
Why just plan to graduate when you can graduate with a plan? Here at Proctor High School, we know there's more than one track to graduation, and we want to provide opportunities for every student to grow and succeed. As high school students, we crave real-world, authentic experiences. And when we are interested in what we're learning, we feel more empowered to build the skills we need for what comes next. There's a transformation happening inside Proctor High School that is making way for a new approach to how we think about and plan our academic career. It's called Proctor Pathways, and it's just the ticket to exploring and aligning our interests with future career and education opportunities. A pathway is a series of courses we can take to be more prepared for further study, training, or work opportunities within a specific career field. It gives us the opportunity to job shadow, learn from guest speakers, and work with real companies on real projects while fulfilling graduation requirements. By partnering with local organizations, these 4 Proctor Pathways are tightly linked to in-demand local and national careers. Health Sciences and Human Services. Grow your desire in making a positive impact on the future health and well-being of our diverse and complex society. Arts, Global Communication, and Information Systems. Foster your creativity, innovation, and expression while exploring different ways to apply those well-rounded skills in life after high school. Design, engineering, and manufacturing technologies. Feel empowered to step into the role of an engineer, adopt a problem-solving mindset, and make the leap from dreamer to doer. Business, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Explore the varying types of business while gaining communication and marketing skills to thrive in today's business world. The idea is for students to be future-focused. Think about what careers might interest them, then find which pathway and classes they could take to build skills around their interests. Pathways is not about locking students into a single track. It's opening our minds to all the possibilities. Deeply explore a topic in one pathway, or expose yourself to different courses in multiple pathways. Whatever your goal for after high school, Proctor Pathways is here to help students train for tomorrow and find the right track toward a successful future.
You know, I was a little apprehensive the first time getting hearing aids, but they just made me feel so welcome, like I was the only customer they had. You know, you don't know how bad it is till you get hearing aids. I mean, I can hear my grandchildren when we FaceTime now. I'm watching TV, I understand what people are saying. I don't have to ask for somebody to tell me what they've said. And that's what keeps me coming back. And I've got a new set of hearing aids and couldn't be happier.
Stop living with the frustrations of untreated hearing loss. Call today.
Who will our next generation be? What will they achieve? At Proctor Public Schools, we create an environment to educate, engage, and inspire our students to seek adventure, gain knowledge, and make a difference. Proctor Public Schools. We see greatness in our students and great things for their future. We educate, engage, and inspire.
Potentials, lots of different options with the different loans that are out there. You know, what we'll do is we'll talk to you about your scenario, your situation. We'll figure out what actually works best for you. But the key is what is going to be the most cost effective. So we will compare conventional versus FHA, you know, USDA versus, you know, FHA, different types of things that way. You know, sometimes even if you're a veteran, the VA loan might not actually make the most sense, you know, just because there are some fees associated with that loan that we might be able to do the same type of loan but do it cheaper with a different type of a program. You know, but again, that's something that we will figure out. You know, we'll figure out the best scenario for you. We'll give you the options, but we'll obviously lead you to the right and most cost-effective way to purchase or refinance that house.
Welcome back to the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Event Center for MN Hockey TV, broadcast of the Section 7A quarterfinals between the International Falls Broncos and the Proctor Rails. The Rails 2-0 lead going into the second period. Shots 9-5 in favor of the Falls. Again, I guess you want to recap the scoring in that period?
Yeah, we began with a Jax Hardy goal. He got his 11th of the season, 38th total point, and he broke all the goose eggs, made it 1-0. And then Win Giswald got his third power play goal of the season, his 7th total goal on the year for the Rails off of the Lehman interference call against International Falls. So that leaves us at 2-0 with second period upcoming. What do you expect from the Broncos, not used to being down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is, like you talked about, this is kind of winner go home type deal here now in the playoffs. So, you know, you don't want to, you know, I think the next goal is going to be a really big goal. You know, if the Rails can get up 3, that's going to be really big. If the Broncos can pull within 1, that'll give them some momentum, some life back. So expect them to be pressing pretty hard here to start this period and, you know, trying to get some quality chances early on.
Fun fact about International Falls is that when they have allowed more than 3 goals in a game, they are 0-1-1. They have not won a game in which they have allowed more than 3 goals. So it will really tell. If Proctor can be able to separate offensively, I think that would just about be the dagger.
And I've seen more out of Proctor tonight or today in terms of controlling the puck when they have it than I've seen pretty much all year. I mean, they've done a nice job of when they get the puck on their stick, not throwing it right away. We talked earlier about the physicality that International Falls has brought, but the Rails have done a nice job of you know, not getting intimidated by that and really controlling the puck when they have it and providing themselves opportunities to get some good scoring chances.
They have been physical, especially with Anthony Yerxa. I mean, we were talking about it off air. To me personally, for people who don't watch a lot of high school and watch more so pro hockey, he reminds me a lot of Austin Matthews, the way he uses his size and his skill. And he doesn't really give a spark to the offense because he is the offense and he has sparks around him, like his brother William Yerxa, who also has 80-plus points on the year, is top 5 in the state. He has Brody Baldwin right behind him, Carter Thompson, the list goes on. So it's very much so an intimidating offense to contain, but I think Proctor's done a great job thus far.
Yeah, how'd you like to be USO? And you 44 points on the year, but you're the 5th leading scorer on your team.
I'm pretty sure numbers 7 and 8 on their points too also have like 40 plus. They're just that buried. They have scored 196 total goals on the year as a team, and they have only allowed 36, 2 of those coming today.
Well, before the teams take the ice again, I want to thank the students who are making this broadcast possible here on MN Hockey TV. Our director is Angela Sinoka, our producer Ada Arpke, our camera people Jordan Bierman and Bryce Baslager, along with Aaron Blevins. Our replay is Michelle Van Ert and scoreboard Allison Arpke, and our tech and reporter is Carter Ringo. So thank you to them and Rails TV for being the camera footage for this. And again, thank you to you for tuning in and joining us for this Section 7A quarterfinal. Number 4 seed Proctor against number 5 seed International Falls.
As mentioned before earlier in the broadcast, these two teams met earlier in the season on January 3rd in International Falls at Bronco Arena. It resulted in a 1-1 tie. International Falls is 0-4-1 in their past 5 against the Rails. They have not lost, the Rails have not lost to the Broncos since December 12th of 2019. They have yet to get a win against them this decade, over a halfway in.
But the Rails got the worst lead in hockey, right? 2-goal lead.
2-goal lead. In the middle period as well, as the referees are entering the ice. Second period approaching.
As mentioned, really impressed with the fans for the Broncos. Big crowd here for them, bringing it all the way down here from International Falls.
In that meeting earlier in the year in which they tied, Jocelyn also had the start for International Falls. I believe that is why they gave the nod to him. Although his current backup today, Kane Thompson, is also top in some of the state's statistics. He's 11-0-1, has a goals against average of 1.05, which is first in the state for goals against average. He has 6 shutouts and a .919 save percentage, and he's on the bench.
Yeah, just crazy stats. That's just, like I said, video game-ish.
Jocelyn got the nod, I'd assume, because he had 23 saves the last time these two teams played on 24 shots.
And he's wearing the C, so you want your captain to be out there leading your team in the playoffs for sure.
He is. He's this time of year, you do. Section 7A certainly is probably, I'm just going to say it, the most intimidating section in single A. You got Hibbing, Hermantown, Cloquet, and International Falls. All 4 of those teams are ranked. That is the most teams ranked in the top 20 for a section in single A.
Yeah, I was looking at the number 1 and 2 seeds in all the other sections. You know, obviously familiar names. You know, Section 1, you got Northfield and Waseca. Section 2, Delano and Blake. Section 3, Laverne, Mankato West. Section 4, Matamidi and Chisago Lakes. Section 5, St. Cloud Cathedral and Monticello. Section 6, Sartell and Northern Lakes. And Section 8, War Road and East Grand Forks. So those are the number 1 and 2 seeds, which you would think would be the favorites, obviously, in those sections. But who knows? You always have a dark horse this time of year.
That's the fun part of it, and 2 of these teams could fall into that category. We approach puck drop, and we are underway. Rails win it back into their own zone, chasing it, now behind their goal line, looking to put it airborne. Fighting for it along the Rails bench. Struggling, but still getting into enemy territory. Ross just throws it left of Jocelyn. Taking a poke at it. Yerxa puts it around the forechecker. Between his own legs, behind the back, and Yerxa doing a Superman dive. Trying to intercept this loose puck, pushing it through neutral zone. Broncos on their own blue line. William Yerxa on the quest for it, chasing a rail behind his own net. Turnover at the blue line, finding its way to the glove of Ashton Lee for our first whistle of the middle period.
Only 2 power plays in this game, 1 for each team. The Broncos 0 for 1. The Rails got the power play goal. That was Wayne Giswald.
Talk about the brother matchups in this game. You got the Giswalds for Proctor. You got the Yerxas for International Falls. It's a family affair here in St. Luke's Sports Center. Tipped off of rail tape all the way down a little too far. Ref is going to call an icing, and we'll be back in Proctor territory. Hearing Freebird over the speaker reminds me that USA has got Sweden tomorrow. Speaking of the Austin Matthews comparison earlier, he's Captain America this season. That should always be fun. It's a very fun time to be a hockey fan right now.
Definitely.
Out front, the Broncos, saved by Ashton Lee. Whacks it into neutral zone and further. On the chase is Rafe Giswald. What a save by Ashton Lee.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was out front, if it was number 12, but he almost seemed surprised that he got the puck there all alone out front.
I was surprised he was that wide open.
Took him a second to get the shot off. I think that gave Lee time to set up.
Broncos back in possession. Puck loose, goes past the blue line. They're going to have to regather. Ashton Lee leaves it. Pushes it forward along the boards, trying to find some room. The puck is going to go take a seat in
hit the
roof.
rafters, yep.
Ref kind of hesitated blowing the whistle. I was confused. I'm looking at the puck in the rafter, and there was no whistle. I was starstruck as the Bronco out front with that puck earlier.
Yeah, great save by Lee, keeping this a two-goal game. Yeah, that was a great opportunity for the Broncos to get some momentum with a big goal early in the period.
You talked about Lee getting the start due to being the hot hand, but the Rails have not necessarily been the hot hand lately. 6 in their last 8, as you mentioned, have been lost. 1-4 in their last 5. Their one win of those 5 games coming in their last game of the regular season against Princeton. Broncos applying the pressure. Puck rung around the boards, trying to throw it out front off of his backhand. Fans on the pass attempt, and the home team's going to move it over center ice, putting it just right of Caleb Joslin. Oh, and a big hit behind the net. Telling him, get off of me, and they're going to have a rematch in the corner. 0-2, shot from top of the circle into the glove of Caleb Joslin. He'll separate himself from the play. Shots on goal, 12-6. Broncos lead, 14-29 in period number 2.
Bodies flying all over early this period. People losing edges. Just bodies flying into the goaltenders. You know, definitely laying it all out there.
And right now, I would say both of these teams are still under control emotionally. These playoff games can get intense. Just wait for that with the shoulders and elbows that are already flying around. Yerxa leaves it. Shot just goes to the left of Ashton Lee. More physicality in the corner. Throws it on to the pads. Hits off of the body. Another save by Ashton Lee. Loose on the faceoff circle. And the Rails are going to get it past center ice and into Bronco territory. Going to meet it is Giswald. Already has a goal on the day. Oliver loses control, and the Broncos have the number advantage off of a shin. Yerxa was looking for goal number 49. From the corner, leaves it. William Yerxa trying to dance his way around the white and green. Able to dig it loose. Jax Hardy gets the return on it, has it along his own bench. Going to the outside. Top of the circle, shot and a save. International falls back the other direction onto the tape of Anthony Yerxa. Tries to make his move around the defender, unsuccessful. Hardy wants the bank pass, unable to stay on side. We'll get a whistle. A little too eager.
Yeah, you mentioned the 6 of 8 losses here at the end of the season for the Rails. There was a period there in the middle of the season that they were one of the hottest teams of the state, having won their holiday tournament. Then after that, piggybacking off of that to beat Hermantown right here at the St. Luke Sports and Events Center. But since then, it's been a rough go for the Rails. But so far here early on in this game, they look like they're ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, you spoke about that Hermantown win. Hermantown finished the year about 16-5-4, but at that point when they beat Hermantown, that was a huge deal. That was going all around the noise of high school hockey. At that point, that was their first regular season loss, I believe, correct?
Yep.
Also a big rival here. I'm sure they didn't even care that Hermantown was undefeated. They just wanted to beat the Hawks. And they're looking to bring that type of energy as there is a scuffle, is what I would call it, in front of the net as Ashton Lee makes the save.
Yeah, Lee is seeing the puck really well here tonight. Again, a lot of great chances there for the International Falls Broncos in the first couple minutes of this period. And Lee's been up to the task, making some good saves, key saves for the Rails.
He's been great so far, keeping a goose egg under the Broncos text on the scoreboard. We have a draw in Rails territory. Into the corner, ringing it around. Giswald does not get all of it. Broncos continue to chase it behind enemy lines. Finds it, pumps the brakes. Nobody out there but Rails, and they're going to take it past the red line. Off the penalty boxes, Jax Hardy puts it the opposite side of the zone. taking it himself, trying to force it forward, lost in the skates. More physicality. Jax Hardy getting put to the ice. And we're going to have a whistle and a stop of play. 11:56 to go in period number 2. In the second period this season, International Falls has scored the most that they have in any other period, getting 71 goals while only allowing 9. So if there is any time for fireworks, they would more than likely pull them out now. Proctor has outscored their opponents in the second, 28-18. Top of his own zone, he moves it along, hits off of the Bronco bench. Back on the Proctor tape, and more turnover follows that. Backhand pass over the red line. Fatigue maybe catching up a little bit between these two teams after going so hard as they have been. It's been a very fast-paced game to this point. Weaves to the outside, out front. Lee keeps the crease clean. The fight goes into the corner, and we're going to have a whistle, and I believe another power play.
Yeah, Rails going to get a power play as it looks like Yerkes is going to go for hooking. Kind of tied up the stick of the Rails defenseman, and referee calls hooking, and it's big to get Yerkes off the ice if you're the Rails.
Talk about a golden opportunity for the home team. You get the state's point leader off of the ice for at least 2 minutes. The Broncos looking very visibly frustrated with the call. And you get another power play in which they capitalize on their last one, thanks to Wynn Giswald.
Yeah, the assists on those 2 goals for the Rails. The first goal by Jax Hardy, assist for Parker Swart and Wes Paulson. And then the power play goal by Wynn Giswald. Brecken Ross and Owen Baker got those assists.
You want to call your shot again? Who are you looking for on this power play?
More of the same. More shots from the point, tips out front, and probably from Ross's stick.
That is correct. He controlled that last power play very well, and he very much so gave Wynn Giswald a great opportunity for that second goal of the game. They're looking for number 3. Across the blue line they go, led by Rafe Giswald, and the tip almost goes past the pad of Joslin. Picks his pocket, and here come the Broncos. Short-handed, makes a move, bad save by Ashton Lee. Number 1 shuts the door. International Falls thought they could catch a lucky break, trying to cut the lead in half, down a man. Proctor tries to go the other way, hits off of a leg. Top of the zone, at the blue line, Brecken Ross fires, and he goes just left, loose in front of the crease, but it gets deflected to the side of the boards. Continuing to throw it into traffic. Bank pass is going to go a little long, no icing. Changes direction. Onto the pad of Ashton Lee, trying to catch him off guard. Jax Hardy, saucer pass. Has to skate a little further to get it. Giswald pumps the brakes, backhand pass out front. Save, rebound, another go at it, unsuccessful. Both goalies adding themselves to the highlight reel. Jax Hardy going to the outside, looking for a better view. He'll look to move it. Backhand, shovel pass. Out in front, and Joslin's going to go down, and more physicality follows. 22 seconds left on the Yerkes penalty.
Yeah, it looks like Oliver's going to go for interference as he ran into the goaltender.
He looked very eager to put away that loose puck in front of Joslin. Unfortunately, it left before he could do anything good with it. And in about 22 seconds, the Broncos are going to get an odd man opportunity to cut the lead in half. We'll have 4 and 4 during those 22 seconds.
Yeah, that power play there by the Rails was pretty eventful. That shorthanded opportunity by, I believe it was number 2, Brody Baldwin. And a great kick save there by Lee to keep this them scoreless.
It's very rare that if you ask the goalie getting hit, was that a good thing? I bet Jocelyn would say yes, because the pressure he was getting out in front of the crease was very well calculated by the Rails. Throwing anything on net with as many people in front of the net as possible. Driving it back in off of the backhand, hits the side of the net. Yerkes a free man in T- now. Over the blue line, tries to throw it through traffic. On his backhand, banks it off of the glass, past the blue line, throws it right into the skates of Yerxa. Does a little spin around, banks it off of his own bench. Broncos are going to have to go back into their own zone before anything gets started offensively. Brings it himself along his own bench, rings it around the boards and the ref. Surrounded by purple and gold behind the net. This Broncos team very physical on the offensive side. Turned over to the rails, and they're going to get a clear. 8.5 minutes to go in the middle period. Less than 45 seconds to go on the Oliver penalty. Puck goes up and out of play. We'll have a whistle. Shots on goal are 18-7. Broncos lead. They got a little over 30 seconds on the power play. This almost seems like, I would say, deja vu if you're the Broncos. Last season, their season was ended by the Rails right here in this arena in the quarterfinals. Not seeing it on their end. That final was 4-3. Proctor beat them in the 5 versus 4 seed game, which is what we just happen to have right here. All the way down into Bronco territory. Jocelyn's going to leave it. Over the blue line, the red line, he still has it. Moves it forward to go chase, trying to throw it off of the boards, hits a body. Settles it down, moves it, top of the circle. The one-timer does not get all of it, and Oliver's going to be a free man. We'll be back to full-strength hockey. It has been a while. Grabs it out of the air. Broncos hold the zone, top of the circle. Shot, just goes by Ashton Lee. Loose at the Broncos blue line. Tries to push it as far back as possible. It goes up and out of play once again, and we'll get another whistle.
7:22 left here in the period 2. Score 2-0 the Rails. I'm told you can't see the score widget on the screen, so we'll have to announce the time and score as often as we can.
That won't hurt us, will it?
Nah.
Proctor looking to make their 3rd consecutive trip to Amsoil Arena. Last year they played against Cloquet Esco Carleton in the semifinal. They fell 7-2. Looking to get back there for a different result. The winner of this would play the victor of Ely and Hibbing. Hibbing being the reigning 7A champ. Falling in the state semifinals last year to East Grand Forks. Yerxa from the corner looks to whip it on net, hits a defender off of the glass, past the blue line, returns it to where it came from. Proctor loosely moving the puck off of the glass, settles it down along neutral zone. Trying to dig it loose out of the skates. Yerxa pass complete, tries to get it back. Too many white and green jerseys around him. Held at the blue line, puts it into a shin. Puck's all the way down onto the tape of Caleb Joslin, playing it in front of his own crease. Gotta love seeing a goalie get involved. Fakes the move going to the outside along the penalty box. Puck out of his reach into the opposite end of International Falls. They have the whole sheet of ice to go. Looking at options, and no mind readers wearing purple and gold today. Looking to get the change as he was looking for a stretch pass.
Yeah, had he played that pass, there probably would have been too many men on the ice. As they had 6 guys out there, 2 guys changing, and that stretch pass luckily was not touched by the Broncos.
Sometimes being unlucky is lucky. I don't think they would appreciate another penalty kill with the way this Proctor power play has been playing. On net, did it go in? Jocelyn is able to squeeze the pads. And talk about being lucky.
Right. Yeah, get pucks to the net and see what happens. And that time, sharp angle shot almost snuck through the pads.
Taking the draw for Proctor is Owen Baker. Junior forward. Brings it back around the boards. Going to chase it is Denzier. Up to the top of the zone. Tries to fight for it. Broncos are going to poke it past the blue line. Into enemy territory. Tries to shovel it. Broncos put it onto the pads of Ashton Lee. Loose along the dot. Puck's bouncing. Gets past the blue line. And we'll have a repeat as International Falls gets fresh legs. D-to-D exchange. Swart moves it forward. Proctor continuing to move the chains, makes a move. Giswald, backhand pass, shot, just goes to the right of Jocelyn. And what a sudden play made by the Rails. Out front, intercepted. Eye Falls over the red line and further right into the glove. And more extracurriculars after the whistle. What's going to result? Right now it looks like nothing. Nothing like a little bit of section love with 4:44 in the second. Shots on goal 20-9. Eye Falls holds the lead in that category. Yerxa and Hardy draw up. Ref wants some separation. He'll get it, and Hardy will win it into the corner. Hardy past the blue line, backhand pass. He'll have to chase it, but he catches up. Top of the circle, gets the return. Shot just goes by Caleb Joslin. Backhand pass from the top of the zone. Set up to Brecken Ross. Unable to hit the target. I don't think the puck knew that it was going with him. Brings it around the boards in his own zone. Hardy goes to clear it even further. He gets the stick lift. Looking for options, he'll just give it an airlift past the red line, falling while recovering. And a big hit, that's going to result in an Eye Falls power play. Little bit undisciplined on the Rails' behalf. Jack's already pointing at himself like he did not throw a hit at a man without the puck.
Yeah, they're going to call it a charge. Hardy got a few steps before he got that hit.
And voices of displeasure from the crowd. Jax Hardy, who already has a goal in this game. Matter of fact, he broke our scoring. He's going to go sit for two. And International Falls, who so far does not have a power play goal, they are 0-for. They have a chance to not only get one, but cut the lead in half. Yerxa moves it, shot! Save. Anthony Yerxa hits the chest of Ashton Lee. Tim, what do the Broncos got to do different to finally capitalize and also get on the scoreboard?
Well, I think they got to move a little more on the power play. The Rails are pretty aggressive on that penalty kill, so you got to get one or two of these guys out of position and create some openings for some passes to the slot area.
They move it up to their top point getter. Yerxa the return, saved by Ashton Lee. Starting to see a little bit of progress from this Eye Falls offense. The puck is loose. Gets it back in his skates. A minute 15 left on the Hardy penalty. Backhand pass along the boards. Looking at his options. Maybe a lane is open. William Yerxa into the skates. Anthony Yerxa shot right into the glove of Ashton Lee, and a stick goes flying in the crossfire. 3 minutes even.
Yeah, the easiest power play to defend is one that doesn't move much, and the Falls are kind of just stationary, so this aggressive Rails penalty kill doesn't have to do a whole lot. They just got to stay in those passing lanes, and they saw one good opportunity by Yerxa right in between the circles, and that's because they moved the puck a little bit and got the Rails to get out of position.
They also got to pray that Ashton Lee does Ashton Lee things, as he has been all game. He has been stellar for the home team. From the blue line, moves to the top of the circle. The return, shot, just goes to the left. Rebound, it's loose off of the boards. Kicks it and holds it. Continuing to kick this puck around like a soccer ball. Banks it off of the boards. Rails. Unable to get it past the blue line. Back off of the glass. Brecken Ross continues to chase. Trying to tuck it out front. Reaching 25 seconds to go on the Jax Hardy call. Broncos at their own blue line. With it is Brody Baldwin. Baldwin brings it in himself. From the blue line. Baldwin fires into a rail. Rebound. Still in traffic. And Jax Hardy's going to be a free man. He might even get this puck. It's a little too far. Jocelyn moves it along the boards. Going to find it along the I-Falls bench. They get fresh legs on the ice. Cross zone pass complete. Jocelyn plays it again. D-to-D exchange off of the boards. Has it on his backhand, entering enemy territory. Drop pass! Almost pretty, but not quite perfect. Throws it across neutral zone. Rails unable to get a piece of it. Ashton Lee's going to have to play it by the plate against Sports sign. Some physicality along the boards. Tripping on the very slippery ice is Jax Hardy. We are officially less than a minute to go in the second period. Anthony Yerkes at the top of the circle, puts it right into the ankles of Gavin Davidson. Ashton Lee able to cover through all of the noise.
Boy, I tell you what, the end of that power play, Wynn Giswald for the Rails, first of all, did a nice job of using his body to clear the zone to kill that penalty op, but then on the way back, big block on that shot off the upper body. He was kind of worse for the wear going to the bench, but good shift there, using his body to get some things accomplished for the Rails.
When you play hockey that involves that much sacrifice defensively, it's hard to beat a team like that. You see it all around the state of hockey. When you want to win so bad that you're willing to take a puck to the chest or even a full-on shot. It wasn't just the puck.
Right.
From the Anthony Yerkes block by Davidson. He took the stick and the puck to the shins. It's hard to beat a team that's that dedicated, and I think that just shows how much appreciation they have for Ashton Lee, putting it all on the line to help him out. Shot from the top of the circle, hits a couple different deflections and into the corner. We're going to have an offsides and a whistle blown. 36.1 seconds on the clock. Face-off just above the Proctor blue line. Jax Hardy and Anthony Yerkes a tie up. Hits him across center ice into I-Falls territory. Has it on his backhand. The Rails are going to be able to pick his pocket. Looking for somebody out front. Shot. Doesn't get all of it. At the blue line, another go. The tip. The puck's behind the net. And as we reach single-digit seconds, Yerkes leads the Broncos. Pass. Now loose. In neutral zone towards Jocelyn, and that's going to do it for the middle period. After 2 periods of play, we remain at 2-0. Proctor leads. Shots on goal 25 for International Falls and 9 for Proctor. Sam, what did you take away from period number 2?
Well, you might say a score of the second period might mean a kind of a boring period, but it was hardly that. We had breakaway shorthanded chances. We had some flurries in front of the net where both goalies had to make some big saves, and this game could very easily be a much higher scoring game had it not be for Jocelyn and Lee's efforts in the goal. But going into this third period, I tell you what, the Rails got to keep attacking. Even though they have only 9 shots, they've had some decent chances, but if you start playing in the playoffs not to lose, that's when bad things happen.
That is exactly it. The moment you get content and think that you can just coast out the clock is when you usually start losing yourself. Those power plays especially were where I found the most entertainment. And the goaltending, what a period for goaltending from Lee and Jocelyn, both standing on their heads.
Well, we're going to take a break, hear from some sponsors. Again, thank you for joining us on Minnesota Hockey TV, MN Hockey TV, and we're going to be back for third period action after a few messages.
Proctor's Reed Foundation was established to enable life-enriching academic, art, and athletic activities which cannot rely on traditional funding in the Proctor School District communities. Reed has provided grants for the Imagination Library, numerous sports teams, Rails TV, A Night to Shine, the Playground for Everybody, and most recently, Reed helped the Proctor Fire Department invest in life-saving handheld thermal devices. Visit rea3d.org to learn more about how you can support Reed and help your community.
Potentials, lots of different options with the different loans that are out there. You know, what we'll do is we'll talk to you about your scenario, your situation. We'll figure out what actually works best for you. But the key is what is going to be the most cost effective. So we will compare conventional versus FHA, you know, USDA versus, you know, FHA, different types of things that way. You know, sometimes even if you're a veteran, the VA loan might not actually make the most sense, you know, just because there are some fees associated with that loan that we might be able to do the same type of loan but do it cheaper with a different type of a program. You know, but again, that's something that we will figure out. You know, we'll figure out the best scenario for you. We'll give you the options, but we'll obviously lead you to the right and most cost-effective way to purchase or refinance that house.
Hi, I'm Dr. J with Audiology Concepts at the Grand Rapids, Minnesota location. I have so many patients who tell me, I wish I would have come in sooner because I thought it was just a simple miscommunication here or there, or that the TV just needed to get turned up. Most people with hearing loss in the United States don't have a really severe hearing loss. It's more of a mild to moderate hearing loss, and it happens so gradually over time, you might not even notice it happening. So when you come in, not only have a really great opportunity to give you an update on the status of your hearing, but also to have a conversation about how to protect your hearing.
Who will our next generation be? What will they achieve? At Proctor Public Schools, we see great things in the future as we create an environment to educate, engage, and inspire our students to seek adventure, gain knowledge, and make a difference. What do we see in the next generation? We see greatness. Proctor Public Schools. Don't just plan to graduate. Graduate with a plan.
Protect your investments this winter with an enclosed trailer from Wittes Trailer Sales, located in Esco. We also sell cargo trailers, utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
Why just plan to graduate when you can graduate with a plan? Here at Proctor High School, we know there's more than one track to graduation, and we want to provide opportunities for every student to grow and succeed. As high school students, we crave real-world, authentic experiences. And when we are interested in what we're learning, we feel more empowered to build the skills we need for what comes next. There's a transformation happening inside Proctor High School that is making way for a new approach to how we think about and plan our academic career. It's called Proctor Pathways, and it's just the ticket to exploring and aligning our interests with future career and education opportunities. A pathway is a series of courses we can take to be more prepared for further study, training, or work opportunities within a specific career field. It gives us the opportunity to job shadow, learn from guest speakers, and work with real companies on real projects while fulfilling graduation requirements. By partnering with local organizations, these 4 Proctor Pathways are tightly linked to in-demand local and national careers. Health Sciences and Human Services. Grow your desire in making a positive impact on the future health and well-being of our diverse and complex society. Arts, Global Communication, and Information Systems. Foster your creativity, innovation, and expression while exploring different ways to apply those well-rounded skills in life after high school. Design, engineering, and manufacturing technologies. Feel empowered to step into the role of an engineer, adopt a problem-solving mindset, and make the leap from dreamer to doer. Business, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Explore the varying types of business while gaining communication and marketing skills to thrive in today's business world. The idea is for students to be future-focused. Think about what careers might interest them, then find which pathway and classes they could take to build skills around their interests. Pathways is not about locking students into a single track. It's opening our minds to all the possibilities. Deeply explore a topic in one pathway, or expose yourself to different courses in multiple pathways. Whatever your goal for after high school, Proctor Pathways is here to help students train for tomorrow and find the right track toward a successful future.
Protect your investments this winter with an enclosed trailer from Wittes Trailer Sales, located in Esco. We also sell cargo trailers, utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
Who will our next generation be? What will they achieve? At Proctor Public Schools, we create an environment to educate, engage, and inspire our students to seek adventure, gain knowledge, and make a difference. Proctor Public Schools. We see greatness in our students and great things for their future. We educate, engage, and inspire.
Family owned and operated, Troy Service Center is a full-service shop with experienced ASE certified technicians. We understand that getting your car fixed or buying new tires can be overwhelming. At Troy's, we handle every repair with accuracy and integrity and back it up with a 2-year, 24K nationwide warranty. From oil changes and tires to major repairs, Troy's Service Center is here for all your automotive needs. Honest advice to help maintain the life of your vehicle. Troy's Service Center, Proctor.
Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop. Proctor Pizza offers baked pizza, unbaked pizza, subs, tacos, wraps, salads, tater tots, nachos, burritos, and more. Proctor's local family business for over 35 years. Proctor Pizza offers brand new monthly specials, such as the taco pizza, bacon cheeseburger pizza, Hawaiian pizza, and more. Proctor Pizza.
Nemaji Golf Course and Greensview Grill is your home for winter golf. We offer 2 state-of-the-art simulators to practice your swing, perfect your technique, and enjoy hours of fun on a huge selection of courses for any level of golfer. With cutting-edge technology that feels like the real thing, our simulators are the ultimate golfing experience. Check out our full menu and huge drink selection in the Greensview Grill. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, our outstanding staff has something for every diner. Come out and visit us today or book your simulator time at nemajigolf.com.
For years, Troy Service Center has been the go-to auto repair shop in the Proctor community. Quality and efficient repairs make it more convenient to have your vehicle serviced. Troy's has always been for the community. That's why they have been favored by Proctorians alike. But don't just take our word for it. Check out the many reviews on their service. Troy Service Center can ensure that your vehicle keeps your life driving forward for years to come. Troy Service Center has been servicing and repairing vehicles for 3 generations. To contact Troy Service Center, call 218-642-3322 or visit troyservice.com.
Welcome back to the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Events Center here in Proctor, Minnesota for the third period action here coming up between the Rails and Broncos. The Rails lead 2-0, even though they're being outshot 25-9 by the International Falls. Before we go any further, I want to thank the students for making this broadcast possible here, courtesy of Rails TV on mnhockey.tv. Director Angela Sinoka, producer Ada Arpke, camera 1, Jordan Bierman, camera 2, Bryce Baslager, camera 3, Aaron Blevins, our replay, Michelle Van Oert, scoreboard, Allison Arpke, and our tech and reporter is Carter Rengo. And Dylan Nemi on the call. Third period, gonna be exciting.
Very pumped up for the third and final set of 17 minutes, a very meaningful 17 minutes. A season on the line, a trip to Amsoil Arena on the line, and I would just like to, before we get into that, I'd like to piggyback on what you said. The student production here is great. This is my first time here in St. Luke's Arena calling a game, and I think it has came out beautifully so far, almost as good as this game has been. Our lone goal still coming from Wynn Giswald and Jax Hardy. Both of those were in the first. The second period, as we mentioned, to close out the period, was kind of the goaltending show. Ashton Lee and Caleb Jocelyn both making their highlight reel plays, keeping goose eggs in the second, but Jocelyn's going to really have to keep that up if his team wants to make a 3-goal comeback. They have not been in this situation very often at all, if at all, this year. So it's going to be a very entertaining third period here in St. Luke's.
Yeah, the International Falls 0 for 3 on the power play. I think that's kind of a story in itself, with all the firepower they have offensively for the Rails to keep them off the board on the power play. And again, you talked about Lee making some big saves, but to me that's a big point in this game. They've gotten some opportunities, they just haven't cashed in.
I think one thing we've repeated multiple times is how insane some of the statistics are for International Falls when it comes to point getting. They've got both Yerksas in the top 5 for leading the state in points. They have 8 players averaging a point per game, and right now they have no points through 34 minutes of hockey. They have 0 points, especially off of those 3 odd man opportunities. It's just very shocking and not normal for the Broncos to be in this role. And as the ice is ready and the buzzer is going off, we await both teams and the refs.
You mentioned earlier about keeping your cool, keeping your composure here, and you got to believe as this game wears on, Broncos being down 2, that some of that frustration might come out. The Rails just got to be disciplined and might get some power play opportunities out of that.
There's been physicality the whole game, but if there's going to be emotional intensity, physicality, there's also going to be some foolish penalties to follow. So we'll see if the Broncos fall into that. And we're really going to see the real International Falls Broncos. They enter at 22-1-2, but if they want to make a legitimate run to go to Grand Casino, they have quite the gauntlet to go to, and Proctor is just step number 1. The winner gets the number 1 team in state, arguably. Hibbing Chisholm, who has Ely today. The reigning 7 section single A champions. Proctor has not been to state since 1997, while International Falls has not been since 01-02.
Proctor's only trip to state in 1997.
Our players are back on the ice, and maybe some motivational speeches going on in these huddles. They have broken, and we are ready for puck drop.
Like I said, the Rails got to keep playing to win and not to just avoid giving up this lead. They got to keep playing aggressive, and if you're International Falls, you got to, you got 25 shots on goal. That hasn't been an issue of getting shots. It's just a matter of getting on those rebounds and making sure that they're quality shots.
It's cool to take down a Tiger, but you got to keep your foot on its neck. In this case, that Tiger is a Bronco. That explosive offense can blow up in your face if you're not careful, and they got to continue to be playing how they were in the first 34 minutes. Anthony Yerksa kicks off the third period, winning the draw back to his defenseman. but we will not play for long. We're going to have an icing 8 seconds into the period.
Great crowd here tonight. Again, that International Falls crowd that was boisterous in that first period, we haven't heard them a whole lot. You know,
they haven't had a whole lot to cheer for
right,
yet.
So Broncos hoping they can get them back in the game too.
There is a lot of purple in here. That, I will be honest, there's a lot of purple. They traveled well. That's not a short drive, especially for the weather that we are preparing for here in northern Minnesota. Jax Hardy, he had the first goal of the afternoon, leaves it back. Unfortunately, that's William Yerksa receiving the puck. His backhand is going to go off of the Broncos bench. More turnover in neutral zone. William Yerksa onto the pad of Ashton Lee. Puck will bounce around for a while until it finds the tape of Jax Hardy. Goes to the outside, trying to feed Brecken Ross. Unable to hold on to it. Finds Samar and into neutral zone, top of the blue line. Pushing it straight forward. Ashton Lee is going to put his glove on it to avoid any harm from Carson Crandall. In the third period this season, Proctor has been about as even you can get. They've scored 23 and they've allowed 23. I Falls has scored 62 and allowed 10. Brings it off of the boards. Fanning on the pass attempt, eventually gets it to Mader, trying to fight his way through a crowd of purple. Makes a move, backhand, it's loose in front of the crease and goes past the right post. An opportunity early for the Rails. Kicks it to hold it. Banks it off of the boards. Has it on his backhand. Brings it back around for Broncos to find. Yuso and Crandall fighting for it. Onto Rails tape. Looking to make a move, and that would have been very cool, but unfortunately not very realistic. How many Instagram pages and YouTube channels do you think he would have been on after that one? Picks his pocket. Coming in to help is Caleb Joslin. Getting it out of enemy hands. Backhand pass along the boards is able to clear the zone. Going to the outside. Has it on his forehand, and he is rubbed out on the boards. Good old classic defense from the Rails.
So far, the Rails have been attacking here. They're not sitting back. They're definitely getting some things going here.
Ashton Lee plays it, and the Rails move it along their own boards. The pass is not connected. Broncos are going to be able to clear to the opposite end once again. Puck's a little too high for his height, and now Anthony Yerkes is going to have it at the top of his zone. Feeds a man by center ice. Stiff arm. We're playing football in St. Luke's Sports Center. Yerkes has company. They're able to stay on side. Tries to shoot it through a crowd. Unsuccessful. Another block shot. That was something you highlighted earlier, Tim, was how Proctor is just sacrificing everything to keep pucks away.
And that was the same guy I mentioned earlier, Wayne Giswald, just letting the puck hit him wherever it needs to just to keep it from getting the lead.
I think he's going to be in a different type of St. Luke's if he continues his style of play. We'll have an icing with 13:35 in the third period. Shots on goal. International Falls 27, Proctor 10. Hardy and Yerksa face off in the close left corner of Proctor territory. Throws it a little too far out of the wingspan for Giswald. Still on the chase. Banks it off of the boards near center ice. Yerksa waits for everybody to get on side. Trying to feed it into the middle of the zone. Battle along the boards. Trying to find some open ice. He's in the corner. Behind the net, trying to get the tap home in his skates. Hits off of a Proctor rail, and he'll look to connect. Just brings it himself. It's Brecken Ross Brecken-Ross, a shot. Jocelyn in the way. From the corner, going out front. Shot from up high. Blocked and past the blue line. Broncos have the whole sheet to go. Yerxa gets enough of it for his team to get a line change. And now Proctor with some real estate trying to move forward, and it gets deflected into the netting. Proctor did not have the dream ending of the regular season, but they were fairly successful here at home. They were 10-7 on the year when playing in St. Luke's Sports Center. And they look to get win number 11 here against the Broncos with a little over 12 minutes to play, battling for it in the corner. Mater tries to rub off a Bronco. He gets beat out for the puck. Over center ice and back into enemy territory. On the forecheck is Mater. He's able to poke it loose, but not able to snag it by the I-Fall student section. Back into the opposite end. Proctor continuing to turn this into a track meet. More so of a cross-country meet, the way they're having him cycle in and out of the zone. Fights off the hip check, back behind the Proctor net. Holds it at the blue line, fires it through a defender. Unfortunately goes a couple feet to left of Ashton Lee. Trying to poke it loose by the Bronco bench. Through neutral zone. Trying to leave it back, and some physicality continues. Gaining speed is Logan Peterson into the gut of Caleb Joslin, who has been sharp since the first period.
Yeah, the Rails, again, not giving the Broncos really many opportunities to set up in the offensive zone. They're clearing the puck and then also getting it deep into the Bronco end to kill some of that time with only 11:15 left.
International Falls is going to start playing against the clock as well as Proctor pretty soon here as we get closer and closer to single-digit minutes. What they see on the scoreboard is what could be left on their season, in which has been a very successful one to this point, and they hope to continue and make a trip to the Amsoil for the first time since 2018. Trying to get a rematch with Hibbing. Off of the backhand, Peterson is caught up to. Yerxa gets it into Proctor. Holds the zone, trying to throw it on to Ashton Lee. In front of the crease, it's loose, and covering it with his blocker. That's not something you see every day. Both teams get fresh legs as we await draw in the Rails territory. A packed house here in St. Luke's Sports Center. Everybody excited for section hockey. And 2 weeks from tomorrow, the annual state tournament will take place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, girls' state tournament starts tomorrow, and naturally, because it's going to snow, right? Every time we have a state tournament, we have a snowstorm.
And no kidding, that state tournament will include Proctor Hermantown, the Mirage, who play here. Congratulations to them on their trip to Grand Casino Arena. They play at 1 p.m. tomorrow against Dodge County. They're the 5th seed playing number 4 seed Dodge County. Looking for some space, pokes it past, and it's covered by Ashton Lee. The Rails looking to somewhat mirror some of that success that the Mirage have had and continue to have.
Nothing against the Mirage. They have a great team, but it's a little different Section 7 on the boys' side than the girls' side.
They don't got 4 teams to go up against that are ranked in the top 20, and 2 of them are top 2. Hibbing and Hermantown, the 1s and 2s of not just the section, but the state. Jack Sardi over center ice and into enemy territory off of the backhand. Giswold's not able to get it on net, takes an awkward fall. Thankfully, he gets up okay. Yerxa and company are able to stay on side. Brecken Ross tries to poke it past. Yerxa shot just goes to the left of Ashton Lee. From the blue line through traffic into the gut of Ashton Lee, continuing to be sharp for the home team.
Yeah, 28 saves here tonight. That's a good night's work for sure for a goaltender. He's seeing the puck really well and in the right place. He made some big saves here tonight, just with his positioning and that rebound control is also important here, especially late in the game against a team that's desperate for a goal.
A team that is so offensively explosive like I Falls, if you're able to limit the rebounds in the front crease opportunities, it's going to help you out huge. And Ashton Lee and the Rails defense are a testament to that. Proctor off of the backhand. Now the glass chased back behind Caleb Joslin. Up to the blue line. He's not able to keep his blade on the ice. Chasing it back to his own zone. Gets enough on it, no icing.
One thing I noticed, we're not seeing a lot of Ross or Hardy this period for the Rails, which definitely could bode well for them as late in the period, as you got Yerxa and them getting tired. You get Ross and Jax out there with some fresh legs, could create some offensive opportunities for the Rails.
Looking to really apply that pressure in the ending minutes of the game. That would be one way to put in a dagger. Another one would just get another goal. Continuing to play how they've played. That's smart, considering that I Falls has kept the same line out there for almost the whole period now. Which, if I were them, I don't blame them.
Got to stay with the horse that got you there, right?
You got two of the top 5 point leaders in the state of hockey. Yeah. Why not? Anthony Yerxa just 4 points shy of 100. He has 48 goals and 48 assists. Right behind him is William Yerxa, 35 goals and 45 assists, 80 total points. They combined for 176. Wins it back up to the blue line. Hesitates, off of the post, just past the glove of Caleb Joslin. The return at the blue line through traffic and into the gut. He'll get a cover on this. 8:07 on the clock. I Falls 28 shots, Proctor 15.
And there's that Ross line with Hardy against the tired Yerxa. And you saw it right there. A couple good opportunities there, and one off the post.
And they get a quick change.
Offense. Yeah.
Eli Mader at the draw for Proctor. He'll win it back. From up high, hits traffic. Broncos are able to calm it down, trying to force it towards center ice. He'll just get it back. Tips it, but not too far for the Rails to retrieve. On the close side boards, Mader trying to throw out a stiff arm. Trickles it up off of the backhand, looking for the toe drag. It's picked off. Puck goes airborne along the red line. Joslin leaves it. Lehman throws the stretch pass. Connects but unable to hold. He does not get that. They're going to call that an icing. And we'll have a draw in Proctor.
Not sure if you can see the score widget yet, but if you can't, the 7:21 here left in the third period. And potentially the season.
Draw goes into the Proctor corner. Shot around the boards. And repeated. Brecken Ross over the red line. Trying to speed his way through the International Falls defense. Putting this puck behind Jax Hardy. In come the Broncos. Trying to force it through the traffic. Gets deflected into the far side corner. Looking to dig it loose out of his skates. Proctor gets it past the blue line. Now on the attack, Brecken Ross stops and his shot goes left. Holding it along the boards. Hits off of a couple different Broncos. Now at their goal line, top of the circle, William Yerxa hands it off. Brody Baldwin onto the pad of Ashton Lee. He directs it otherwise, and we'll have a whistle.
Looks like Yerxa closed the glove on the puck, so whistle, face-off goes to the outside of the zone with 6:21 left here in the third. One thing I noticed tonight too, I failed to mention it earlier, but the Rails seem to be winning pretty much every face-off, which
they do.
Definitely doesn't help the Broncos' cause here, as the Rails are able to get control right off the draw.
I think they've done a great job at playing fundamental hockey today. They've been physically, defensively, but clean. They've won the draws. Goaltending is more than solid, and they're taking quick shifts basically, like you mentioned, the Ross and the Hardy line. They're barely out there, and when they are, they're only out there for about 30 seconds. Off the backhand, tries to get it up the boards. Has to rethink it from the corner into the glove of Ashton Lee. A bounce off of a skate and the tip of a blade almost cuts the lead in half, but number 1 in white and green continues to do what he's been doing. Falls officially breaking that 30 shot on goal marker.
You got to believe Chad Baldwin, head coach for the Falls, is basically saying you get anything to the net. And you saw right there, some puck off the skate or something like that, fluky like that, could give them their first goal.
There's no such thing as an ugly goal. Any shot is a good shot. Trying to get it out front. Stick is in the lane. Top of the zone. He gets his pocket picked, and that will be a penalty as a Brecken Ross is tripped up.
5:44 left. This 2-minute penalty is going to eat up a lot of that time.
Captain Zach Yuso of International Falls, number 7 in the purple and gold. He's going to go sit for 2 minutes. He is 5th on the Broncos in points. He'll be off of the ice. That's huge for Proctor, getting another power play, in which they've been very successful on so far.
If you're Coach Baldwin for the International Falls, you would love to be able to take a timeout and give your guys a little rest here on the penalty kill, but you want to save that timeout for later on if you need to draw something up for pulling your goalie. So
Yerxa brings it in, the toe drag left back. Takes it back, top of the circle. The Yerxas continue to exchange. Brecken Ross taking his time behind his own net. The top of his zone. Some smooth passes from the Rails. Ross from the blue line. Gets it back behind Caleb Joslin. Ties it up along the Super 1 logo. Looking to force it out, and Yerxa is going to get the clear. Less than 5 minutes to go on the contest and potentially the Broncos season. Rails exchange, making their way back into enemy territory. Jax Hardy leaves it back. Ross trying to move it along the blue line. Trying to get the connection, cross zone, hits the ref. Off of the boards, still holding the zone. Broncos contest, and now looking for a short-handed goal. Here comes Yerxa. Makes a move onto the pad of Ashton Lee. Proctor back the other direction. Taking his time, top of the zone. The backhand, Caleb Joslin's going to play it, and we're going to have 4-on-4 hockey for 23 seconds. Proctor's going to the box. And pleading his case, looks like number 22, Drew Yost.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Broncos now, especially, here with only 4:06 remaining. Potentially pull that goalie once they get that man advantage, go 6-on-4. So you see the scoring opportunity here on this breakaway. Good save by Ashton Lee. Sorry to cut you off there.
Oh, no, you're okay. I was staring at it. I was almost lost. That was such a great play by number 1. We cannot say it enough how he has almost stolen the game for Proctor up to this point. He's been outstanding. That Yost penalty is due to a hooking call. In 10 seconds, Broncos will get a power play, a much-needed power play. They are 0 to this point, but there's no better time to capitalize than the present. Broncos 5-on-4. Back in their own zone. They have the whole ice to go. Puck is loose for the taking.
Keep an eye on Jocelyn here, see if he's summoned to the bench.
We are nearing the time for a goalie to be reasonably pulled. Broncos at the blue line. He'll change direction. Looking for a lane, gets the pass down on the corner instead. Shot from the boards, deflected and goes left. Jax Hardy is able to make his way around and clear the puck. Jocelyn needs to be in the crease because he plays it, almost hesitating there to go to the bench. And here goes Jocelyn. 6-on-4 for International Falls, empty net. Proctor puts it all the way down. Nearing 30 seconds left on the penalty. Baldwin leads the Broncos to the outside. Backhand pass does not connect. Tied up along the boards. Yerxa still has it. D to D. The return. William Yerxa through the skates. Now it's Anthony from the corner. Shot! Goes wide. 5 seconds left on the power play. Tries to force it out front as Baldwin gets it poked away out of his reach. Back out in front of the crease. It's the side of the net and it's a pad save. Another goal. Rebound! Sprawling out for it is Lee. More traffic in the way. We're under 2 minutes. Net is still empty. 6-on-5 for International Falls. More turnover of the puck through neutral zone. Puck is down, but the skate is in the way. Yerxa driving through neutral, top of the zone, shot! Bad save by Ashton Lee. Brecken Ross behind his own goal line, just chips it, unable to get it out of the zone. Loose at the top of the circle. Purple and gold have it. Between his legs into the corner, 1:15 on the clock. Bodies fall behind the net, no striped arms, we're good to go. William Yerxa, down low, out front, the poke home, does not go. Top of the circle, save, rebound, still going at it, it's in the corner, less than a minute. Puck's in the air, Brecken Ross gets it out. 50 seconds on the clock. Loose in front of the crease, now behind the net. Rails poke it out of purple and gold hands. William Yerxa has a crowd of white and green in front of him. Top of the circle. Onto the pad and out of the zone. 30 seconds to go. Yerxa drops it back and we're going to have a whistle in what has become a very loud St. Luke's Sports Center.
Tell you what, Ashton Lee, some huge saves there right at the end. And, you know, you say ride that hot goalie in the playoffs. The Rails have definitely found one here to start these playoffs out.
It can always be a huge decision when you have two great goalies on who to pick, and I don't think they're going to feel bad about this one. I'm sure William Pokernich is very proud of his teammate, as we're going to have a timeout taken.
Yeah, that was a heck of a flurry there of action in the Rails' end, and you know, you got to believe the Yerxas are tired, and you just need a little break here. Good call here by Coach Baldwin, just to A, give them some legs, and B, draw something up.
Really applying that pressure, trying to save their season with 27.2 seconds to go. If you cannot see the scoreboard still. Score is 2-0. Shots on goal, International Falls 36, Proctor 15.
At risk of jeopardizing a goose egg for Ashton Lee, coming into this game, looking at the statistics for International Falls, to think with 27 seconds left they'd still be scoreless would definitely not have been something I would have predicted.
I would put this on my resume if I were him, if this game ends how we think it's going to end, not to jinx him. a team that has scored 196 goals on the year and has, by average, beat their opponents 7-1. The Rails are less than 30 seconds away from a trip to Amsoil Arena if they're able to hold off the Broncos. William Yerksa takes the draw against Brecken Ross, and it will not last long. We're going to do this again. Just below the red line. On to Proctor defenseman's tape, and it's iced with 19.4 seconds.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to do there is ice the puck. You know, Coach Laspie's telling Paulson just, you know, in that situation, just maybe just tie it up along the boards or just chip it out instead of sending it all the way down, giving the Broncos an offensive zone faceoff.
Now they're in the zone with Anthony Yerksa taking the draw. Wins it back. Shot up the middle of the zone. He'll fall along the board, shoveling it to the opposite end. 10 seconds to go. Banks it off of the boards. Back into the corner. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the Proctor Rails have defeated the International Falls Broncos 2-0. They're going to Amsoil Arena with yellow helmets looking towards the ice. The Broncos season has ended. A regular season of 22-1-2. They put up just about every impressive statistic that you could name. They have nothing to hang their heads about. Unfortunately, that trip to the Amsoil is going to have to wait. Proctor will play the winner of Hibbing and Ely.
Well, if you got to give out a star of the game, I got to go to number 1 for the Proctor Rails between the pipes. 36 saves and a lot of big saves here this game. A couple breakaways, a couple, great opportunities from right in front of him. Just stood on his head here today, and they're going to need that performance moving forward, definitely as they go. So good start to the playoffs for him and for this Rails team.
There was no better player on the ice than number 1 in the green and white. He gets his 4th shutout of the year. This one got to be the most impressive. 36 save shutout against one of the highest scoring teams in the state. And keeping this game what it was, catapulting his team to a 2-0 victory.
Well, you got to drive home?
I do. I do.
Hopefully you get south before the weather comes, but hey, heck of a game. You're exactly you mentioned the 4 versus 5 game being one that definitely is to look forward to, and definitely lived up to its hype.
This game was not only worth looking forward to, but the section as a whole, Section 7A, we mentioned, is so talented and so deep, and 2 of these teams are great representative of that. So this was a very fun game to call. Thank you for letting me into your home, so to speak, of St. Luke's Arena and Proctor Hockey. It's been fun. I had a great time, and I hope everybody has a safe drive home and stays safe in this weather that's going on here in northern Minnesota. So that will do it. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Final 2-0, Proctor over International Falls.
At Proctor Public Schools, we're more than just a district. We're a journey. Every day, our teachers, staff, and students work together, building knowledge, confidence, and character mile by mile. From our early learners to our graduates ready for the world ahead, we're fueling curiosity, connecting ideas, and driving innovation, all while keeping our eyes on the horizon. Because here in Proctor, we don't just ride the rails, we are the rails, educating, engaging, and inspiring the next generation to go full steam ahead.